How to effectively sponsor a new teammate. How to effectively sponsor a new teammate. Now, we must all understand that a lot of things is going to happen in this business, in this where the whole project activity is concerned. And I want us to understand that it is as a result of how well you can approach these things, how professional you can be about it, how professional you can be about it. I am going to send, I will have actually added that video to tonight's training, but immediately after this training, I am going to send that video to the group. Please do well to watch it and understand it. We all must understand that everything rises and falls on how well you can build a team. We are building a team, not the business. It's because it is the team that builds the business at the end of the day. So the life hack to getting the best from what we're about to do is your ability to build a team. Once you can successfully build a team, the team will build the business and you will make a lot of fortune. And that is why sponsoring every new teammate that flows in through you as a result of Project Activate, sponsoring them well is very, very important. Sponsoring them well is very, very important. Now, let's get right into it. Now, what is sponsoring? When you say you sponsored somebody, now, for the newbies, this is a very good place to learn. So please pay close attention. You can as well screenshot. You can as well screenshot, but make sure you are following. It is important that you learn what this is all about so that as you begin to develop new team members, you know how best to go about it. Now, in network marketing, sponsoring refers to the process of recruiting and enrolling new individuals, often refers to as downline. Now, that is the popular name they give them, but here in the Zillionaire network, we call them success line. Nobody is anybody's downline. I don't have a downline. I have a success line because it is as a result of you connecting to the vision and what we are able to do together that gives birth to your success and my success. So you are my success line. I am your privileged upline. Are we getting that? Now, when you sponsor someone, you automatically become their mentor or sponsor, providing guidance, support, and training to help them succeed in the business. Now, this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They connect people to the opportunity and they lack the ability to be a mentor to them because they themselves, they did not receive mentorship. They are just about what they can get, not how they can help people. And if you have studied what we are doing here closely, you will understand that it is more of how many people you can help. It is as a result of how many people you can help, not what you can make. Am I making sense? So once you hear network marketing or you hear people talking down on it, move closely or observe closely. You will realize that it is as a result of them not being able to actually sponsor people correctly or them not receiving the proper mentorship. And that's why go and check it. Anybody that is successful in this business, two things. It's either they were sponsored by the right person or they made up their mind to succeed. It's either of those two. It's either they were sponsored by the right person who was able to hold them by the hand and guide them through every step of the way, or they decided to make it work for themselves. Most of the people that are talking about it not working, go and check. They are the set of people that are not ready to learn. They are the set of people that you will never see them attend trainings. They are very pessimistic. So there is no way what we are doing here will be of any help to them because they are having the wrong approach to what we are doing here. So have it at the back of your mind. Immediately you activate people, you have automatically become their mentor. Immediately you activate people, you have automatically become their mentor. And that is why I am making it compulsory for everybody to begin to read, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. I am pouring out to you out of the abundance of what I have loaded. That is why I didn't qualify to be anybody's leader by age here. I qualify to be everybody's leader here by the virtue of value I'm bringing to the table, by the virtue of the level of knowledge that I have to dispense. And if you notice, I have two, three, four people here. Okay, like two or three people here that are way older than me, but they are still in this meeting because when it comes to this business, it doesn't respond to age. It responds to the level of knowledge that you have. And that's why we have Mrs. Esther here. We have Coach Vera here. These are my moms in the industry. But sadly enough, a lot of people don't understand. They are not able to distinguish between that two. So once they are older than the person that knows how to do it, they allow their ego to take over them. And that is why they remain at a spot. I want us to use this privilege to celebrate Mrs. Vera and Mrs. Esther. I mean, I think there are three: Mrs. Vera, Mrs. Esther. I think we have two Mrs. Esther. These people are way older than the me that is talking, but they are still on this call to listen to me. So it has nothing to do with your age. You can be 20 and be a mentor to someone that is 35. It has a lot to do with the knowledge that you bring to the table. That is what actually helps you navigate this business successfully. So when you are hearing people talk it down, God bless you too, man. God bless you. I celebrate you greatly. Mrs. Vera, the two Mrs. Esther's, we celebrate you greatly, man. Please, let's celebrate them in the chat box. These are people that are way, way, way older than us when it comes to age, but here they are still learning. It tells you that there is no limit to how far you can go if you are ready to learn. So that's it. So when you sponsor someone, you must understand that you have automatically become their mentor, providing guidance, support, and training to help them become successful in the business. So once you are not doing that, you are not qualified to be a sponsor. You are not qualified to be a sponsor. And that was why I recommended those books, Five Levels of Leadership. Please, if you don't have that book by now, please ensure that you get it before the end of the year. That is our book for January. That is our book for January. Zainab, that is my Christmas gift to you. Okay, I'm giving you Christmas gift as Millionaire Mind. So I have a New Year gift for you. That is the book I got for you. So find me by all means to get it. Most likely tomorrow before I'm traveling tomorrow. So please ensure you get your book from me before I travel. Yeah, so that was the book I got for you, Five Levels of Leadership, John C. Maxwell. So if you don't have that book by now, please, between now and the end of the month, make sure you get it. Yes, it's just 5,000 naira. It's just 5,000 naira. Five Levels of Leadership, John C. Maxwell. That is our book for January. That is our book for January. So it's a month because that's the book we are reading all through the month of January. You can now read any book alongside, but that book, once you are a leader in this Zillionaire network, it is a must read. Five Levels of Leadership. Because at the end of the day, like it or not, you are going to be a leader to the people that is going to be flowing into the business through you. Oh, okay, ma. I thought you said you have it. All right, ma. So making two. Yes, the account details is on the group. Send your payment and send me the receipt. So when I'm coming to Abuja, I'll bring it for you, ma, Mrs. Vera and Mrs. Okay, which of them? Anyone you want to, yeah, Five Levels of Leadership. Just indicate the book you want to get. Send the money for it. When I'm coming back to Abuja, I will bring it along. All right, so let's proceed. Now, what is sponsoring in better terms is a fundamental skill that needs to be developed and continuously being worked upon. Being a good sponsor largely comes down to your level of leadership. Can you see it now? That is why I said that book is our book for the month of January. That was why I said that book is our book for the month of January because everything bounce back to your level of everything bounce back to your level of leadership. Bounce back to your level of leadership. It's all about leading by example. The reason why you all are here now is because of my ability to lead, and this is just the beginning. We are all getting better. In fact, a lot of people are going to be becoming the best version of themselves in 2025 as a result of the activities that we're going to be engaging in. Where training is concerned, reading is concerned, there's going to be a timetable. I'm working on it already. Once it's done, I'll push it out. I'll push it on the group that we're going to be working with, where reading, training, everything is concerned. So sponsoring is a fundamental skill that needs to be developed and continuously worked upon. Being a good sponsor largely comes down to your level of leadership. So once you are having issues with growing the business, just know that it is your level of leadership. And like I said, leadership does not respond to age. Know this and no exploit. Leadership does not respond to age. It has nothing to do with your age. You must understand this. Once you understand this, you are good to go. So it helps you scale faster. Stop limiting endless possibilities to your age. At the age of 20, you can become a multi-millionaire. At the age of 25, it just depends on how hungry you are for it. So good leadership is all about leading by example, setting the bar for others to aspire to. And that's exactly what actually stands you out as a leader. Just like I'm saying now, I've activated 2 people. By January 3rd, I'll activate the 3rd person. I'm already working towards making sure that by the end of January, I activate 10 people. That is a leader. Consistently raising the bar. And that's exactly the approach you're supposed to be giving this. If you really want to do good numbers with what we are doing here, you must be obsessed with continuously raising the bar as the leader that you are. A good leader or sponsor does what needs to be done, and this is a very good part of leadership that a lot of people have failed to acknowledge. As a leader or sponsor, you must understand that you must consistently do what you are supposed to do, whether you feel like it or not. Do you know why? People are looking up to you. So you have to deliver every now and then. You have to deliver. So it's very, 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 very important. So that's the word. Consistently. Consistently. Very important. Consistently. Excuse me. Yes. Okay, I think I'm going to go now. That place is noisy. You must consistently get this done, whether it has nothing to do with your feelings. I remember days when I'll be coming to the office, I won't feel like it, but I need to show up, because if I don't show up, people that are looking up to me, it will affect them. So as a leader, you must embrace this mindset. You must embrace this mindset. Very, very important. Sponsoring is also the art of getting a person well started in the business, ensuring they are properly guided, well trained, and able to do the business without your direct input. This is the most beautiful part of sponsoring. When you get to a level where the people that you have actually brought into the business can successfully do it without your direct input, that is when you've gotten to the level of achievement of being a leader. It makes it make sense that way when you get to this level. So as you emerge, as you proceed in this journey of Project Activate, have it at the back of your mind that, number one, sponsoring is a fundamental skill that needs to be developed and continuously worked upon. And being a good sponsor largely comes down to your level of leadership. So whenever you see anything coming down with your Project Activate, don't blame anything. Direct it to your level of leadership. How best have you worked on your level of leadership? And that is why we started with that book, 5 Levels of Leadership. By the time you are done reading that book, it is going to shape your perspective and help you to become better as a leader. And as a leader, you must also understand that you need to continuously do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. So it has nothing to do with how you feel as a leader. You must. This is one part of leadership many people don't want to hear. And that is why they are not making some kind of impact, getting some kind of result. They only want to do things when it is convenient. As a leader, you are going to do a lot of things inconveniently because you need to get the job done regardless. And lastly, sponsoring is also the art of getting a person well started in the business, ensuring they are properly guided, well trained, and able to do the business without your direct input. And this is the most beautiful part of the business, where you train them to a level where they can now run it well without your input, because you have been able to guide, train, and mentor them well. So this is the process. When you sponsor somebody, they depend on you now. So let me give the breakdown in months. For the first 3 months, anybody you sponsor has the right to depend on your guidance. And that is why now listen and listen well, especially the folks that are just joined. Listen good. The first 3 months, that's the first 90 days, you are allowed to actually depend on your upline, on your mentor, on your sponsor. After that 90 days, you should be able to do a lot. Now, don't hear what I did not say. You should be able to do a lot yourself, not all, a lot. You should be able to present. You should be able to follow up. You should be able to invite. A lot of things should have been able to be easy for you for that first 90 days. And that is why you need to follow your upline back to back. Ask questions every now and then. Because after that 90 days, your leader actually has the right to move on to the next person and do the same. So if you are not doing some things after 90 days, it is your fault. So you move from that independence to independence. That's the next 90 days, the next 3 months. You can now do quite a lot of things, but not all. Just like I said, after the next 3 months, that's 6 months now, you can now graduate to interdependence. You can now do a larger percentage of stuff with minimal supervision. Not like you still don't need supervision, but minimal. It will be very little. Very little. Can you see the process now? You start your first 90 days, you are dependent on your mentor, your upline. Then the next 90 days, you can now do quite a number of things yourself. Then the next 90 days after, you can now do a lot yourself with minimal supervision. Am I making sense? Is it simple? So that by the time we enter January 1 and we begin to implement all what I'm training us on, nobody will say they are not aware, they don't know, they don't this, they don't that. Is it making sense? So you have January 1 to March 31st to be on your upline's neck, be on their neck. Learn at least you must have been able to learn 50 to 60% of what it takes to actually get these things done without their supervision. Then you move to the independence, where you can now do a lot. Then interdependence, where you can now do so much more. Still under supervision, but minimal. Is that making sense? Good. Now you can screenshot this, and of course, you can always go back to this training on our YouTube channel for better understanding. And I'll also advise, okay, so this is what we'll be doing. Every slide, every presentation slide I've been using ever since I've started the training towards Project Activate is going to be available for everybody who has a PC, who has a system, so that by the time you start having 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, and you want to begin to train them, you have access to the slide. You have access to the slide. So yes, that the slide, every form of slide that we are using now will be available to anybody in the Project Activate from January 1. From the 1st of January, you can access any of our slides. All you just need to do is request for it, and you will have it. So who is a sponsor? Is one who directly recruits another person into the business, and they are responsible for training that person. Now, key point to understand about sponsoring in our business. Number one, building a team. Building a team. Network marketing is, you must understand that it is based on, just like I said, Your ability to build a team is what determines how successful you are going to be in the business. Your ability to build a team is what determines how successful you're going to be in the business. So it's based on building a team of distributors who sell product or service and recruit others to do the same. Sponsoring involves actively seeking and enrolling new individuals into your team. So month in, month out, that's why Project Activate came to the picture. Month in, month out, you must be having new members in your team, activating new members in your team. The second one is relationship building. Relationship building. Sponsoring is not just about recruiting people. This is where a lot of people mess it up. It is more about building relationships and creating a sense of trust and rapport. I feel strongly to stay better on this so that a lot of people can understand what is actually making quite a number of persons not to make an headway with our business. Now, over the years in the network marketing industry, I observed that the people that are really not successful with it lack this particular trait. They don't know how to build relationship. They don't know how to build relationship. I will use how I met Zainab as a very good example. Now, I met Zainab around this time last year after a program in church. We just ran into each other and we got talking. And during that moment, in fact, I don't think she has the capacity to do quite a number of things she can do now. But I was intentional about maintaining that rapport, watching out for how can I be of help. I was not about how I would connect her to the business. No, you must understand that it is how well you can build a relationship that will determine how far you will go with what we are doing. It is very easy to connect people to what we are building when you have successfully built a solid relationship with them. The reason why she trusted, the reason why she believed in what we are doing right now is because of how well I was able to build and maintain the relationship I have with her. So for 2 minutes, I would like her to actually tell me what actually made her believe and followed me all the way. Zainab, 2 minutes. Now, share with us. Did I pass this test of relationship building, and what exactly made you connect to anything I show you? 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you for the privilege. So majorly it was because at first you were asking me how is my finances and how is everything. And one thing I am like eternally grateful to God for is the fact that I was actually like very open. I told you how everything was at the time. And yeah, the fact that you were always like checking in like every other month, I would just see your message even though we don't talk like every day, but I knew at least once in 2 weeks I'll see your message like, oh, how are you? How is work and stuff like that, and you will build your portfolio. But then that time, me, I was just here for the vibes. I was just spending my money as they come. So, and that's what is pinning me to today. That then that things were not like as messy as right now. That I could have done so much more. So yeah, one of the reasons I trusted you so much was the fact that you were constantly checking in. Even when I wanted to get my first property, like I had so many other realtors, like they were constantly telling me that but there was just the connection was not there because I don't know you. Like I just see your post online. There is no relationship, nothing. But it was very easy for me to just trust you with my money, trust you with like any advice you give me like this when it comes to anything, or anything. In that moment, I just know that there cannot be another advice that is better than that. And I just feel it's because of the privilege of access and how you've like guided me through this whole financial journey.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you so much. Now, I want you to pick, there's one thing I would connect what I just said to is, he said, the ability to actually build that relationship very well to a level where the trust shows up and the rapport is there. Now, you had thousands of realtors out there, But why were you not able to really connect with them is because the relationship was not there. So people will only buy or connect or do business with who they like and trust. Once people don't like you or trust you, no matter how legitimate, valid, sweet anything you have is, they will not look at it. So if you can get this right, the people will be asking you how you are doing it, because people will find it very easy to want to build something with you, do something with you, because of how well you were able to build relationship with them. So if there's anything you need to get big on in 2025, is your ability to build, maintain, and sustain healthy relationships. I can go on this particular one, but because of time, I will actually have to move. As time goes on, maybe there's a day I'm just going to dedicate it to this particular one because it is a curriculum on its own. And sadly, this one thing is not taught in school. I really wish there was a course that is actually streamlined to teach people how this is done. Life will have been a lot better. Some people don't know how to show gratitude. Some people don't know how to express courtesy. Some people don't know how to receive favor. Like those little things has actually deprived a number of persons big and major open doors. Why? They lack the ability to build relationships. And like it or not, your next breakthrough, your next open door, and that's why I tell people not to look down on network marketing. It is one lifeline to your ability to maintain, build, sustain solid relationships. I remember telling her that by the time I'm ready to get married, the people that will be coming to my weddings are going to be multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, because that wedding is going to be one of a kind. And I'm building the kind of relationship I want to see in my wedding with my business. You need to get intentional with this business. I mean, have you ever imagined at the point where you are ready to get married, and as a result of how well you have been able to build relationships with this business, you did not spend 1 naira for your wedding? Do you know it's possible? As somebody, one of your success lines is taking care of your wedding dress, another is taking care of the cake, the oil you want to use. Like your success line will literally pay for everything that you are using for that wedding, and you'll be like, wow, what have I done to deserve it? It's because of your ability to build solid relationships with them beyond business. That's where people lack it. They are just maintaining contact with those people because of the money they want to get. It is beyond that. Relationship building is beyond wanting to do business with people. It is your ability to be genuinely interested in their success. It is your ability to be genuinely interested in their progress. That's what actually makes the difference. So once you get good at this, trust me, you will not struggle in project. Like you will literally maintain and hit 100. Like people used to think 100% success rate is actually impossible. It's actually possible. You just need to be very intentional. How good have you been to the few people in your life? How well have you been able to maintain and sustain the level of relationship in your life? Look at your circle. In fact, I tell people, if you find it very difficult to make two people connect to this business through you, then there's a problem. How well have you been actually sustaining a relationship with them such that they can, if not because of anything, like I always say, if not because of anything, but because it is you, they should be able to buy into the idea. If you have not gotten to that level where people cannot say, because it is you, I will do this. If you have not gotten to that level, then you have more work to do here. You need to get more serious and highly intentional by building relationships. I hope I'm making sense. Effective sponsors invest time in understanding the goals, motivations, and challenges of their potential teammates. Watch out for them. What is their challenge? How can you be of help? How can you be of support? Now, she's my one of my latest success line, and I've been very intentional about her growth. I gave her the first book. The first book I bought it for her. Now I bought another book for her. Now it is intentional. That's me building a solid relationship because I know at the end of the day, by the time she's done reading those books, utilizing all the stuff I'm giving her, she will become more better, more useful, not just to herself, but to her team and to the vision at large. So it is a win-win game. She wins, I win, we win. That's one beautiful thing about relationship building. So once you get good at this, you will literally be unstoppable. Unstoppable. So the third one is sharing the opportunity. Sharing the opportunity. Now, as a sponsor, you introduce network marketing opportunity to prospect, explaining. Now, just like I said, until your mentor gives you the go ahead to begin to run presentations, tell people about the opportunity, please do not start. Do not start it. Follow, be very big on following instructions that is given to you part time as we launch out fully into Project Activate January 1, 2025. Explain the business model, the company's product, service, and the potential income and benefit associated with it. They highlight the advantage of joining their team and emphasize the support and training available. Now, let me introduce this. The reason why, okay, so let me use Irene and Tina as a good example. Now, there are some people that will never join Tina, and there are some people that will never join Irene. Do you know why? Now, Tina's personality will attract some kind of people that Irene's personality will never attract. It's just the truth. There are some people that will never connect with the opportunity through Tina. They will just like Irene. And there are some people that will not like Irene that will like Tina. So you must be intentional about bringing out your own uniqueness. Why should people belong to your team? Like if they see team A, team B, team C, why would people choose team B over your team? That is where your uniqueness comes in. That is where your specificity comes in. It is the same business, but there's an approach you bring to it that makes some kind of people want to join you. So it might be the way you share the opportunity. For some people, it might just be the way you dress. For some people, it might just be the way they hear you talk. There will definitely be something they like about you that want them to do the business. It's not like they like, and see, understand that they don't need to like the business. Once they like you, that's it. That's it. They don't need to like the business. They just have to like you. Once they like you, boom, you are on an automatic streak of activation. You will just be activating back to back. So you don't see, they don't need. I'm saying this again so that you can understand that it is really not about the business, it is about you. It is about you. So your ability to fine-tune your professionality where the business is concerned is what goes a long way in determining the kind of people that will determine what would actually come out of it from you. Now, the fourth one, training and support. Training and support. Once a person joins your team, and that is why I said from January 1, all our slides will be available. As a leader, let me say this again. I've been saying it, but I will say it again. As a leader, if you have not successfully watched all the trainings on that channel at least twice, you are not doing it well at all. At all. Let me just let you know now. Because now, what will you train? What will you teach your success line? Because all the what's it called? All the slides are going to be available to you, especially once you have your PC, your system. You will have access to all the slides. So when you want to run presentation, of course, your leader must have been able to vet that you are good to go where that is concerned. But you will have access to all the slides. But how be it that you, the leader, you have not watched the training, you don't even know how to use it to train your people. So what are you doing? So understand that your training and your ability to train and support your teammates has a lot to do with your own ability to also receive the training and support. And that is why we created that channel so that every now and then you can go there, watch it, get more familiar with how it is done, so that by the time you are doing it, it will not be too hard for you because you've watched the video over and over again. You now understand what to say when you project the slide, how to say it, how to go about it. This business, is copy and paste. Once you can get good at copying and pasting, see, as I'm doing 10 activation, you'll be doing 10 activation. There is no, what's it called? Covering my, no. You can literally copy me from A to Z. I make my money, you make your money. There is no competition here. It's that sweet. All you need to do is to connect. Once God blesses you with a good and intentional upline and mentor, connect to the person and let that person guide you every step of the way. Yes. So, okay, good. So training and support, I think we are clear on that. So once a person joins your team as a sponsored teammate, it is crucial to provide them with training and ongoing support. Sponsors guide their new teammate through product training, business strategies, prospecting techniques, and personal development to help them grow and succeed in the business. The number 5, duplication. This is where the sweet, what will I know? This is where the sugar of our business is, such that you are not there, but what your teammate is doing is bringing in consistent cash flow. And of course, you must have been a good leader for you to have a good teammate. Can you see how everything is interrelated now? So one of the key principles of network marketing is duplication. Sponsor teaching their sponsor teammates how to sponsor others, creating a culture of duplication within the organization. This process helps to expand the network and increase overall team success. This is an acronym for Project Activate. Because once we launch out January, and boom, you produce for January. The goal is to encourage the people you produce in January to produce in February. So month in, month out, duplication must be flowing in. Duplication must be happening month in, month out. Then the number 6 is leadership and leadership development. Leadership development. See, sponsoring involves nurturing and developing leadership qualities in your team members. And that's exactly what I am doing to my team members. Once you connect to Project Activate through me, I am going to so make sure that you are not lacking anything where what it takes to become a leader indeed is concerned, except you have not submitted totally to my mentorship, but that you submitted and you really want to make the most of this opportunity. Trust me, you are going to get everything you need to know. Everything. So you must understand that once you flow in, leadership development is not an option, it is a must, because that is where the growth is. Your ability to develop more leaders in the team is what determines how fast your growth in your network will look like. Sponsoring involves nurturing and developing leadership qualities in your team members. What are you giving them? Videos, tips, informations, teaching them how to present, how to follow up, sending them link to postcard. I do it a lot. I might be on Instagram, I see something that really makes sense and I know my success line will benefit from it. Boom, I send it to their DM. They watch it, they give me feedback. I'm fond of that. For my direct success line, they will testify to this. Once I'm on Instagram and I see something that resonates with me and I know you will benefit from it, trust me, I'm going to send it to your DM so that you can feel it too. You give me feedback. That is how to consistently nurture your team members. Expose them to things you know they would learn from. Expose them to things that they will get better as a result of. So all of those things contribute to the overall success of the business. So as sponsors, you encourage your teammates to take on leadership roles. In no time now, you start seeing Zaina present. Watch out for her. She's a waiting bomb waiting to a time bomb waiting to explode, because The level of leadership traits that I'm going to produce out of her is out of this world. So please make sure you get that book tomorrow from me so that you can start reading it. Yes, so as you encourage your teammates to take on leadership roles, guide their own sponsored teammates as well and help them grow their business. This contributes to the overall growth and sustainability of your network organization. Number 7, relationship management. You know, I said relationship building earlier. There's also relationship management. Sponsoring is an ongoing process. You must understand that it is a process that continues. Sponsoring is an ongoing process that involves maintaining strong relationship with your sponsor teammate. Now, I tell people, as you enter Project Activate, boom, your first 2 connectors must be your, for folks that don't have a boyfriend and girlfriend. Once you sponsor your first 2 people, those are going to be your boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, you are going to maintain constant touch with them day in, day out until they produce. Your relationship with those first 2 that you connected to must be as solid as anything, because it is through them the pipe will continue to flow. So once you don't maintain that whatever with them, you are going to have, so you must be very intentional about the relationship you're having with them. Very, very important. Very, very important. Regular communication, providing support, addressing concerns, and celebrating. We are going to celebrate a lot of activators in January. Make sure your own activators is there. And once you have activated, okay, that will be at the end. Don't let me run ahead of myself. All part of effective sponsor team members and relationships. Now, number 8, long-term success. Long-term success. Successful sponsoring is not just about you recruiting a large number of people, and that is why we actually brought Project Activate alive, because a lot of people, they forget that you connect 100 people and you did no leader, you could not raise any leader out of those 100 people. Why? Because you were just in for it for what the connector bonus will give you. You were just connecting and connecting and connecting. You were not taking out time to pour into them what you know, what you've learned. So it is beyond just recruiting a large number of people, but also helping them achieve their goals and find success, because that is the true testament that the business works. So if at the end of Project Activate, you cannot boast of 10, 20, 30 people that are making at least 6 figures monthly from your team, then you have not done it well. You have not done it well. So by focusing on their growth and success, you build a solid foundation for your own long-term success. Now, why should you, why should you sponsor properly? Why should you sponsor properly? Because sponsoring is a vital aspect of network marketing, as it drives the expansion and growth of your team and your organization. By being an effective sponsor, you can create a positive and supportive environment where your teammates thrive and achieve their goals. So this is one thing you would have to do as a leader. You must create an environment where your teammates can be able to thrive and achieve their goals. How do you sponsor effectively in our business? How do you sponsor effectively in our business? It all starts with the welcome call. Now, at this point, you might have to be screenshotting because you will need it later. So this is the script for welcoming someone that just connected. Our follow-up team, Zillionaire, Ifeoluwa, take note. You can screenshot that. So this is the script. Once anybody connect newly, this is this. Just follow this script. Good morning, Mr. Tunde. I am reaching out to you from the Zillionaire network. I believe I am speaking with Mr. Tunde. Mr. Tunde, this call is basically to congratulate you on your decision to sign up into the most beautiful business on earth. As a leader and your upline, it is my job to work with you and help you build the base upon which your business will grow over the next 45 days. Now, for the follow-up team, there's a way you put this. I'm going to address it for you after the call. But if you are a leader and you are welcoming somebody new into your team, this is the script. This is the script. This is the script. Now, our business, you must understand that our business is 8-year-old friendly. What does that mean? It means that even an 8-year-old child can create a massive success in the business by simply following the system. that has been laid down. I will guide you over the next 45 days as together we build this amazing business, and understand that you must be the one to make the time to run the business. Now, you cannot be saying you don't have time if you really want to make some massive success in this project Activate. Hey, I'm busy, I'm busy. What you are busy doing, can it really pay you what the project Activate will give to you at the end of the year? Can it really give you that? Because if you run project Activate at 100% success rate, you are going on with nothing less than 28 million naira. So tell me what that thing you want to do in 2025 that can give you 28 million naira in 12 months. And that is if you are using one wet water. For those using 3, 7, 15, it's a different ball game. So the next 45 days will be the most crucial as we take you through the initials of the business. I would strongly suggest that you do all in your power to not make excuses, because it is very easy to make excuses. But do everything in your power not to make excuses during this phase, because it's very crucial. Your business, because your success in this business will, to a large extent, depend or will be determined by the activities in the next 45 days, starting from January 1. Now, we have, excuse me, the activities are designed to keep your business a solid foundation on which to grow. The first activity is the quick start guide. The quick start guide. Now, let me see, I'll keep saying it until everybody has done this. If you have not watched the quick start guide on our channel for at least twice between now and the next 48 hours, that's between now and the end of Tuesday, make sure you have done that. Because how would you point the attention of your new activators to it in January when you yourself have not done justice to it? So the first activity is the quick start guide, also known as QSG. Is Zillionaire quick start guide. This activity is meant to help you expand upon the knowledge you have about the business and to also show you more ways you can earn in the business. It is a compulsory activity as leaders. Once you show people the opportunity, the project Activate and they connect, the next thing you should be exposing them to is the quick start guide. Quick start guide, that's the next thing. Fix a date and time with them so that you can meet up with them and get them started. And the second activity is what we call initial planning orientation. That's IPO. The slide, most likely we are going to be doing our IPO next Sunday. So you know how it looks like. IPO, this is the activity where we launch the business and give you the tools required to build the business successfully and connect it to our system, which drives the business. This activity holds on Wednesday by 5 p.m., but we might still reconsider that time as the project continues. Now, these activities are part of the foundation of an effective business, and why you cannot attend any of them will only retard your business growth. You know, attending it is to your own detriment. We understand that you are busy, but you must also place the activities as priorities because you make time for what you prioritize. You only make time for what you prioritize. So we understand that you are busy, but you have to prioritize this because you are the one that wants to make so much from it. So I know you have questions to ask. However, we'll take your question through the quick start guide section. So if you have any question after the quick start guide, then you can reach out and let us know. Congratulations, Mr. Prospect, depending on the name of the person. Then we proceed. Roles of an effective sponsor. Roles of an effective sponsor. Now, welcome them to the team properly. Then introduce them to your leader physically or do a conference call. See, this is I want us to take note of this thing so that you will get this one sure way to get maximum result from Project Activate. So as an effective sponsor, this is your role. Number one, welcome them to the team properly. Then introduce them to your upline. So let's say this is me, then there is Zainab. So if Zainab is bringing someone new in, after the person has signed up, you must do a proper introduction between them and me, your upline. That is going to help speed up your business. Do you know why? Once I connect to that person, it is easier for that person to listen to me than listen to you. Do you know why? There is this see finish syndrome. this over familiarity syndrome. But once you introduce that person to me, most likely I don't know that person. You know that person. So whatever it is that you tell that person about me is what is going to determine how well they listen. So you must make them understand that that is your upline, that is your mentor in the opportunity. That whatever it is that they tell, I tell them makes sense and they should do it with immediate effect. So you have saved yourself a lot of stress that way when you connect your new activator to your mentor. Am I making sense? So when you sponsor someone, it is your job as the Mr. Activate, Mrs. Activate, to ensure the person attends the QSG and IPO. If they don't do this, you will be held responsible because that is one sure way for them to actually catch the fire and move with the vision. QSG, IPO as guided to go through the SMO checklist. Now, emphasize on the importance and benefit of attending IPO and ensure they do it on time. Now, plug them to the Kingsman Academy, where I'm going to be unleashing all of these things as time goes on. Connect them to our training. Make sure they are very familiar with when we do trainings and help them get their tools. I think I've done this. Add cover notebook. I've told you guys to get that, right? Then have a diary for 2025. A 2025 diary where you can be noting the incidents or occurrence of how things is going. Then your SMO checklist. We are going to provide that from the Zillionaire network. The 555 worksheet from the Zillionaire network. Then, of course, you have a WhatsApp-enabled phone and a success manual. We are going to provide that as well. So review the first core task on your name list. Supervise and see if they listed it alphabetically or selectively. When the success line you sponsor go out to fill the question. Now, this is for people that will be doing questionnaire. So when it gets to that time, you will understand this better. You, the sponsor, will call all the people they know. If you have a large team, pair them up with accountability partners and ensure that they both make the calls. Now, work with your success line to call the people they don't know. They learn how to do the business when you give them challenges. Challenge them, but don't be pushy. Do you understand? Challenge them, but don't be pushy because they are still babies in the business, especially when they just connected. It is your job as the sponsor to show them how to make the questionnaire calls properly. Also make the 50 third-party calls on their behalf. When it gets to that point, you will understand this better too. Organize the business connection section with them and teach them how to do it. Make sure they organize the HBS within the first 7 days. Teach them how to make the brand launch calls for their warm market prospect, make the follow-up calls on their behalf. Now, the key is the SMO checklist, which is the standard method of operation. Work this, we are going to have a structure to this in January. You have to work with your success line and help them sign up 5 people within their first 5 weeks. That's for the people you are actually activating. This should be a target for your new success line. Show them the relevant things they need to do to start off their new success lines immediately. Don't make the mistake of being outside during trainings. When you are not leading the charge in your team, you don't have a team. These are the things you need to understand. Ensure your success line have access to our trainings. Apart from the training you give them, make sure they have access to our own general training that we are doing now. Then ensure you are not the primary person everyone is looking at. The focus should be on the system. As you can see, I've been pointing you to the system and not me. Can you see it now? And that's the same thing you'll be doing to your success lines. As they are flowing in, lay more emphasis on the system, not you. It is the system that is guaranteed to bring possibilities that they are looking for, not you. You are just the middleman between them and the system. Never hold yourself guilty for a downline's incompetence, failure in the business. Now, I will explain this. Once you connect somebody to the opportunity and they begin to do anyhow and they are blaming you, are not allowed to feel guilty because on your part, you have played your part. Where your part is concerned, make sure you are playing your part too. Let it be said that you played your part. They were the one that was not serious because whether you like it or not, you will encounter unserious people. But your goal as a leader is to identify the serious people and work with them. Because as you can see, we are more than 7 on that group and we are just 7 on this call. So for the first 72 hours, get them to attend the quick start guide, which is their second exposure. Get them to attend the initial planning orientation. We are doing this next week Sunday. Please make sure you don't miss it. In fact, the link to the training will drop earlier. That's our initial planning orientation. Ensure they attend their next IPO in person and ensure you do a thorough job there so that they can understand the foundation using our system. Then plug them into the engagement structure, which is our project Activate. Now, make sure you are aware of the segment they belong to, full-time, part-time, or spare time, so that you can measure their result. That this will be the yardstick in what as regards to what you use to measure their result. Ensure they tell you how they want to work with it and document it. Add them, of course, add them to the WhatsApp group. Over time, as your team grows to a large number of people, you have to create your own WhatsApp group where you now call the shots. Because you are now a leader. Once you are beginning to have 10, 15, 20 people, you are now a bona fide leader. You call the shots. Of course, you receive guidance and mentorship from your upline, but where your team is concerned, you call the shot. Get them to request for their reservation code with their full names. If they are not on WhatsApp, request the code for them to send it via SMS. Get them to fill out their expectation management form. What are they looking forward to? Review the form with them. If they are not outside your location, send a copy of the blank form. Get them to print it. All of these things, you're going to put them in place. Then have them open an Access bank account. Okay, good. So if you don't have an Access bank account, please go and open one as soon as you can. Well, we are not in a rush to cash out, so you might actually be chilled on that. But have it at the back of your mind that where your money is going to be dropping from the wealth portal is Access Bank. We work with Access Bank. Access Bank. Access Bank. So if you are someone who wants to be cashing out steadily, open an access account on time so that they can link. This is the account they will link to your wealth portal. So whenever you withdraw money from your wealth portal, it drops in your Access bank account in the next 24 hours. And I'm going to do a practical live session of that in January. Yes, there are going to be some practical testimonies of how we withdraw and how it drops. Because for some people, once they have not seen that, they will not believe what you are saying. Don't worry, we are intentional all the way. So a lot of us, we begin to achieve and create new milestones. We document them down, we record them, and we make people see how that what we are doing is actually what they need to get involved in if they really want to make more in 2025. So the first 7 days, send them their login details via SMS or depending on what you want to use to send it, but just ensure that they have access to it. Ensure they have picked up their pack. There's a pack that's attached to you connecting. Get them to fill the account linking form, submit it on their behalf. Yes, let them know it takes 5 to 10 working days before their account is linked. So if you are linking your Access bank account, understand that it takes 5 to 10 working days to have it linked. Then, as a leader, supervise them to plug in their team so they can make their first big announcement calls. So that will be the end of the training for tonight. I want to believe you got value. If you got value, let me see value in the chat box. So if you can follow these steps I have just shown us tonight, you will see how easier things begin to get. Things begin to get easier when you get more intentional about it. Yes, let me see value in the chat box if you got value. If you got value. Things will begin to get easier when you become intentional about it. Network marketing is very beautiful, very sweet, but people are actually using the wrong approach. They're using the wrong approach, and that's where they are having issues. That's where they are having problems. What I just shared with us tonight, if you follow it word for word, you'll be shocked at how you'll be making so much success with ease. You know, there's the success you make with so much effort, and there's success you make with ease. Yes, that's what you get when you follow what I just shared with us tonight. It makes a lot of sense when you sponsor effectively. So, yes, the most anticipated time is now. So, now, if you are listening to me right now and you have activated your first 2 activators, for January. Let me see. Type activate in the chat box. You have your first two people activated already. Like when I mean already. Now, okay, let me categorize it. So let me start by saying you've activated your first two people and they are done paying. Right? Activated in the chat box. You've activated your first two people, but they are doing instrumental. Right? Activate. For me, okay, let me lead that crew. So I am activated because I have my own first two. So I can go for the best next four. Activated. So who else? Like you've activated your first two for January, the two people that you're going to be working with in January to ensure that they do their own in February. Let me see activated. That's if they are done paying. That's why you are seeing me writing activated. And if they are in the process of paying, right? Activate. I'm talking about two people. Two people. Okay, am I the only one that have activated? What are we doing? Okay, so if you have just one person out of the first two people that you are activating, if you have activated one, let me see act. Just type act, ACT. Okay, good. Awesome. We have Mrs. Esther. Okay, general person. You've activated one person out of the two. You've gotten one. You've gotten one, right? Act. Okay, so I think it is only Mrs. Esther. Where is Tina? Is Tina still here? Okay, I think her network is terrible actually. She's been coming in and out. I think she has also act. Is it that she has act or activate? Because she told me she had her first connector recently. Anyone knows about that? Mrs. Esther. I think she has one person already. Or is it two? She has activated two already. I can't hear you, ma.
I say it's one, sir.
Okay, she has one too. So that means she has one more to go.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, good. Awesome. So on this table, we have